pour présenter les programmes. Puisqu'on attend de Charlotte, je ne sais pas où elle est. Tu as pu te connecter sans problème avec le lien, Mathéo?
Pardon, excuse-moi.
Tu as pu te connecter sans problème avec le deuxième lien?
Oui, oui, oui. Mais en fait, j'étais connecté sur l'autre, j'attendais le démarrage du meeting, mais ce n'était pas le bon du coup. Ouais.
Attends, je vais appeler Charlotte rapidement, savoir si elle nous rejoint ou pas.
Tu sais, je vais essayer de récupérer le document que j'avais envoyé pour les agents Galileo l'autre fois.
Hi, Charlotte. How are you?
Hi, Himali. I'm very well, and you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good too.
It's very nice to finally see you.
Yeah, finally, yes. So
Did
you
you already
all
have
are there, right?
interactions on Charlotte? Do you already have interactions with Himali? No, maybe by email or no, not yet.
So I think through the last few exchanges with you, Julien, specifically.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so I think maybe we can start now. So team may, they will join it later on, but at least we can start the session.
Okay. So this will be all the person connected are from your team?
Yeah, means you can able to share your screen. So I just given the rights for all of you.
Okay, great. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for being there. So my name is Julien Menut, and I'm the head of recruitment and admissions for the Master of Science and Master Spécialisé. And I'm also in charge of implementing and managing our agents networks. So we are very pleased to start this collaboration with Joining Campus and Himali. So thank you, Himali, for organizing this presentation.
My pleasure.
And its range of programs. And thank you all for being there today with us. So maybe I can start by providing you a quick presentation of the school, and then my colleagues will present you their different programs. So let me just share my screen. So everything is okay? You can see my screen?
Yeah, everything is fine.
Okay, perfect. So I'm not going to show you this quick video, but maybe up. So why joining EMLYON Business School? EMLYON was founded over 150 years ago, and making it one of the oldest business schools in Europe. And we are quite proud of being part of the 1% of the business schools which are accredited by the 3 main international accreditation bodies. So I'm sure you all know this logo, and that these accreditations are recognitions of for our quality of teaching, innovation, pedagogy, but also research, and employment integrations. So we can say that EMLYON Business School is truly one of the global players in higher education. Studying at EMLYON Business School means joining an international community. So we currently have over 9,000 undergraduate and postgraduate students coming from more than 120 different countries. So studying at EMLYON Business School is definitely a great opportunity for your candidates to evolve in a multicultural context and learn different ways of thinking and working, and especially during their group work. It's also an opportunity to start building their future professional network from the very first months. They will have access to the alumni network from their very first day. And as you can see, it represents no more than 38,000 alumni living and working in 130 different countries. So choosing EMLYON also means choosing quality professors who are renowned and frequently published in different prestigious educational journals. And you noted that among them, nearly 50% come from abroad. And last but not least, EMLYON owns no less than 6 campuses. So we've got 3 in France, in Lyon, Paris, Saint-Etienne, 2 in India, in Bhubaneswar and Mumbai, and another one in China, in Shanghai. One of the main reasons the candidates and your candidates decided to study at a reputable school like EMLYON Business School is definitely to benefit from a quality education that will greatly facilitate their professional integration. And I have a good news for you. Employability is one of the main missions at EMLYON Business School. One of the most recognized media, you all know, the Times Higher Education, ranked EMLYON Business School as the 2nd French institutions in the world top 40. Just after HEC. This ranking is really the reward for all the action carried out by the schools throughout the year and the voice of recruiters who not only commend the professionalism of the students of EMLYON, but also celebrate their commitment and their ability to give meaning to their actions in their company. So for example, the Career Center of EMLYON is implementing a great diversity of actions in favor of the employability, including the Careers Forum, which is a great opportunity, a great event for recruiters and students to come together. And also during the academic year, the Alumni Network will offer a series of webinars, which is called the Employability World Tour, to introduce the specificities of employability in 10 different countries, and which help students and graduates with their internship or job searches. So we are also very proud of different other rankings. So for example, our master management ranked 4 in France and is a top 10 worldwide, according to the Financial Times. The Times Higher Education ranked EMLYON Business School as the 2nd French business school for its social and economic impact in 2022. And according to the QS, EMLYON is the 4th French business school in business and management studies. And last but not least, another ranking I really like, EMLYON is part of the top 3 of the best student experience survey for 3 years, so according to the Happy Index at School ranking. So in terms of campuses, our main campus is located in Écully, which is 20 minutes away from Lyon city center. If you do not know, sorry, France very well, Lyon is the 2nd main city in France after Paris. In Écully, there are 7,000 undergraduate and postgraduate students and more than 4,000 executive education participants. And just so you know, in order to accelerate the global transformation of our school, EMLYON is currently building a new brand campus, which will replace the current one, which will be in the heart of Lyon and which will open for the 2024 September intake. So you can see what the future campus will look like. This will be more than, I think, more than 30,000 square meters in the heart of Lyon, with more than 100 classrooms. It will also be equipped with, I think, about 600 square meters of solar panels, and future students will also benefit from a large private garden planted with more than 150 trees. Definitely a great campus. The Paris campus is located in the heart of the city center, very close to the main train station, which is called Gare de Lyon, and it welcomes 2,000 undergraduates and postgraduate participants. And our 3rd French campus is located in Saint-Etienne and is mainly dedicated to the global BBA students. And as I told you, we also have a campus in Shanghai, another one in India. So that's it for the presentation of EMLYON Business School. So maybe we can start by, I don't know who wants to start, maybe by the order of eligibility, master in management. I don't know if, Christy, are you there or no?
Yes, I'm here.
Ah, Christy, you're there. Perfect. So maybe you want to start, Christy, because I know that you have another meeting just.
Yes, sorry about that. Let me, do I share my presentation?
Do the floor and introduce yourself. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me go back quickly with my presentation. So my name is Christy Benet. I am the the manager of recruiting for the global BBA, so everything under graduate. I'm looking for my presentation. There we go. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So, oops. So I'm going to be pretty quick because I have a meeting starting in about 15 minutes. So this bachelor, it's an undergraduate program. We have the global BBA and we have the BSc. So let me explain just what is a global BBA. It's a Bachelor in Business Administration program for undergraduate student, which means from high school student who graduate from any degrees in high school. So they can come from French high school abroad, or they can come from a different high school with a high school diploma. Our global BBA, so it's a bachelor in 4 years. It's international recognition of the bachelor in France and everywhere in the world. It's taught in French or fully in English. So if you're on the campus of Lyon, it's going to be from day one, all in English until the graduation. But if you have a capacity to speak French and not much English yet, you're going to take 2 years in French with some English classes, and then everything's going to be in English from 3rd year to the 4th year. So here's the program structure. So it's going to be all the fundamental courses from year 1. So it's going to be finance courses, marketing, management, and all the fundamental courses of a business. And you're going to apply. So it's learning by doing. So you're learning in classes, in courses, and you apply in different projects. One of our main projects for the first year is a Think survey. So it's company businesses who come with a problem, and our students going to find a solution. So we have big company who are coming to us to find solutions from our students. So it's very grateful for them to come to us, and they have real problems, real project for our student to solve. So that's the first year, and you have a 2 to 4 months internship at the end of the year. It could be made in France or abroad, also you can do it internationally. The second year, again, you have the fundamental courses. So it's going to be on, again, finance, marketing, management, all these courses, but you're going to apply to one of our main projects, which is a prototyping and digital competence with a business creation project. So from A to Z, you're going to learn how to build your own business plan and create your own businesses. We go deeper in this project because we have Makers Lab in all our campuses, which means we have a big room with all the 3D printer who's going to create our maybe a prototype of a product, or maybe packaging of a product. So we go really far from away from, we're going far in deeper in this project. Again, 4 to 6 months internship at the end of the second year. On the third year, it's academic exchange. So we feel like the student, after 2 years of fundamental courses, are apt to find out what kind of project they would like to do later on in their life. So they're going to choose the academic exchanges with what the major is in these different other campuses. So they're going to change and go abroad for 1 semester. And you can follow this academic exchange with a 5 to 6 months internship. So you can stay away abroad in different countries for 1 year, or in 2 different countries, one for 6 months and another 6 months. We also have double diploma. So the 5 different double diploma we have with a global BBA, it's a 2 years double degree with in Canada with the Grandon College in Canada. So it's very known college, university college in Canada, and they require our student to stay 2 years in their campus. So it would be 2 years in our campus, 2 years in their campus, and our student will have double diploma, one from Grandon University and one from EMLYON global BBA. That's one possibility for one of the double diploma. The other double diploma with China, South Korea, Brazil, and the United States is only 1 year double degree on year 4. So now after the year 3, they're coming back from their mobility internationally, and they come back for the 4th year with a major. They're going to choose their major. It could be from finance and marketing and digital, whatever they would like. Right now we have 9 different specialty. However, you know, the business change every year, and in 4 years it might change again. And of course we are eco-responsible, so it might be also one of the new major. You're going to have an internship again in France or outside of France for 6 months. Or you can do the alternative track, which is a contract with a French company where you work for 3 weeks in a company and then 1 week at school for a full year. So that's a global BBA. So at the end of this 4 years degree, you are able to start your own businesses. We have 16% of our students start their own enterprise, or you can continue working in your company where you did your internship. Or you can go back to school to do your Master 2, which is in French. We call that the Master 2. It's the 2nd year of the Master in France, because in France it's a 5 years degree. You can follow your 5th year in France or outside of France in different schools, because it's recognized by the French government, but also internationally. So I've been very quick, sorry. So like I was saying, the pedagogy of this global BBA, it's learning by doing. You learn your classes, your courses, and you apply in different projects or in internship. Different class model, what we studied the 1st year, as you see, it's always project, digital, and management, and RSC, which is eco-responsibility. And the 2nd and 3rd year, the same thing. Again, project, digital, management courses with, of course, applying RSC too. International, like I was saying, it's the 3rd year, and we have different partners over. So now it's over 100, but it was 99 different university partners. We have 35 different nationalities on our campus. We have 48% of international teachers on our campus. Here's our double diploma that I mentioned. And our specialization that I mentioned for the year 4th. So it could be in branding, communication, marketing, in a sector, also luxury marketing, doing business with Asia, etc., etc. Employability, what can we do with a global BBA? Well, about everything. You can become a business engineer, you can be a project manager, financial analysis, a buyer, you can be more in marketing, like in finance, in communication, in international business. As I was mentioning, then 16% of our graduates are more entrepreneur and start their new business. We have 72% of our students who graduate from a BBA find a job before graduation, 100% within 6 months after graduation. 34% of our students graduate, start internationally their new career path. So as I mentioned, you can continuing studying for 1 more year to finish your master. Why choosing EMLYON is because we have a strong support system to help you to succeed, to help the student to succeed. We have an organization exchange with professionals, which means that we have companies who come to our campus to do job interview on the campus to find internship or people or employ people. We have also 38, almost 39,000 graduates in over 130 countries. So it's a good opportunity for our students to, thanks to the network and our graduate, to go and try to start their new career outside of France. We have 250 events per year we are mentioning on the campus and outside the campus also for some job offers. And we have also the access of EMLYON Business School alumni, like I was mentioning, all the graduating from EMLYON on this platform where we can reach them and find out if we can start maybe a new business with them or start a position in their company. How to apply to a global BBA program when if you are in a French school outside of France or in France, you have to go via Parcoursup, which finished in April, and we're doing the Concours Sésame right now. It's for that I'm going to a different meeting just after that. We are on the Sésame concours. That's only for the French-speaking high school student who have a French baccalaureate. How to apply? It's on Parcoursup, and you choose Concours Sésame. That's the calendar of the Sésame, as you mentioned. Then we are doing the interview right now on English and French, and the admission results would be June 1st. If you have a student who have an international high school from their country, it could be a American high school diploma, it could be any high school diploma from Russia or from wherever you want. They have to finish their second cycle of high school, graduate, have a high school diploma, and they would start with admission, do the application on our side for international admission. And they don't have to go to the Parcoursup via Parcoursup. If you are a student who validated already 1 year of university, it depends of the credit they would get, but they can apply also for starting the second year in our program if they validated their first year in a university comparable to us, compared to us. So admission to the first year for the international admission, like I was mentioning, if they have a degree, a high school diploma from their country, or IB degree, also international baccalaureate, you can start your admission on the website directly. If you complete 1 year of university studies, to be validated by 60 credit CTS in French, but it could be a different unit in the different countries, you can apply directly to our website. Same for the third year if you validated already 2 years of university studies. I hope I'm not going too fast. Admission process, when you do your application on the website, and then we will send you a link with an exam. It's an online admission test, and it comports 4 steps: managing messaging, interactive meetings, reporting, and different videos, interview. And I think many of our programs do exactly the same admission and test online. So that's our contact information for the Global BBA, but you already have all the contact of Julien, so you can go through Julien to get all the information from Global BBA or the BSc. BSc, it's a new Bachelor of Science in Data. Do you have any question regarding to the Global BBA?
Hi, Kristen, Kemal here. How are you?
Hi.
Thank you so much, first of all, for giving the detailed information about the bachelor's program.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So in case if they have doubts now, then maybe they can ask, at the end of the session in the chat box. So maybe any of your colleagues, they can guide them. So as of now, everything is fine. So you can proceed for next program.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I won't be able to answer all your questions at the end of the presentation because I have to leave. However, you can send any question you want, and many of them I would be very happy to answer to them through Julien or to my email address.
Sure. Thank you so much.
I'm going to do the second one, which is a Bachelor of Science in Data Science for Responsible Business, which means that it's a brand new bachelor, great bachelor. Is going to be a 4 years bachelor also. And it's in partner, it's our partners It's a very well-known engineer school in France. It's called École Centrale de Lyon, which is really our neighbor, in fact, on the campus of Écueilly in Lyon. But it's a very well-known engineer school, university in Lyon. There we go. So what is the program for whom? It's going to be for the high school also, and the baccalaureate candidate is going to be all the people who have a high school diploma, is going to be able, hold on just a second, I have someone. Do you have a luggage? I have my colleague on the, thank you. Okay, it's going to be for student from high school diploma, a student who graduate from with a specialty more in mathematics or in science, because it's going to be like a part of their studies going to be engineer studies and management studies. So it's for profile of a student who really cannot decide between a business school and an engineer school. We have this new bachelor going to be together. They're going to have some management courses and some engineering courses. So again, it's going to be a 4-year studies, and it's a joint degree from EM Business School with École Centrale de Lyon. It's taught only in English, and it's on the campus of Lyon. What is the objective is to become an AI expert, which is artificial intelligence expert for responsible business practices, and the study for 2 highly ranking European schools, because EM, as you know, is a very well ranking European school, as well as a central, to get higher easily and launch your own career, of course. Here's the program for the BSc. Again, like I was mentioning, all the courses, mathematics, more engineering type of courses going to be from the teacher from Central School, the engineering university. And all the management courses going to be with the EMLYON teachers, sorry. So it's going to be 2 years mathematics and computer science and fundamental for responsible businesses going to be by EMLYON, and always 3 months of internship. Same thing for 2 years. So it's always science by Central, management by EMLYON. 3rd year, where you're going to have to choose this time a track. And we have 3 different tracks we propose. It's entrepreneurship track, data scientist track, or research track. Always followed by 3 months internship, and the last year is going to be 6 to 9 months internship with a BSc thesis. So that's the program of the BSc. To just summarize, which is a little bit easier, it's 50% of science and 50% of management. So 1/3 of the courses you're going to have, it's on math and informatics, so computer science, and businesses, and RSC is the social responsibility and environmental, because it's very, in EMLYON, we have a lot of courses for social responsibility. So it's going to be 15 to 18 months of internship with 1 semester abroad. Like I was mentioning, it's a brand new bachelor who started this September. So it's for that we don't have too many information about the semester abroad or the internship, how it works. However, all the courses are on the website of the BSc. So you will have some professional certification if you are very oriented for computer skills, coding, and all this certification. You can do that too. And position after finishing this program of BSc could be, for example, AI project leader, data science and AI consultant, data analysis, big data analysis, which is huge in France. A lot of people is hiring for big data analysis, and data scientist. So admission for all candidates. This one for now, today, even if you are in a French high school and you have a French high school diploma, today, for this year only, you don't have to go via Parcoursup. You always have to go from the admission on our website. Next year is going to be different because now the course, the bachelor would be not new, it would be already started. So we'll have to go for only French people, we'll have to go via a Parcoursup. But all for international, it's on the website. All the admission is on the website. So again, you will have to apply. So your application file would be document, mandatory document, and a resume, a copy of your official valid ID, certified copy of your most recent academic degree. So the same thing than the global BBA. And then a digital test online, which of course is more based on mathematics than the global BBA. I hope I already answered all your questions, but if I didn't, like I mentioned, I will be very glad to answer all your questions via my email, sorry. And again, my name is Christy Bellet. If you have any question under undergraduate programs, don't hesitate to ask Julien, and he could transfer all the questions to me.
Yes, sure. Thank you very much, Christy. If you don't mind,
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Sorry, if you don't mind, we'll jump to the executive education because I know that Matteo will be there with us. Have another meeting at 1:30. Matteo, if you can go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much, Julien. Thank you, everybody.
You, Christy.
Bye.
I'm going to share my screen.
Christy, tu peux arrêter de partager.
Ouais, voilà, c'est ce que je fais. Ouais.
Okay, where is it? Just a second. Too many pages open. Let's close. Can you see my screen? Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yes, good. Thank you.
Perfect. So I'm Matteo and I'm the recruitment manager for the full-time MBA. And I'm going to present to you quickly the program, the structure, and the eligible criteria. So this program is an 11-month program, what is mandatory. As you can see in this slide, the 16 months is just an option, and it's something that it's very, very rare that someone goes for the 16 months option. So keep in mind the 11 months program. As you can see in this brochure on the left side, there is what is called the pre-program, what we call level up courses and French classes. So level up courses are going to be, since May, our participants already enrolled. We receive online classes 100% about the finance, accounting, strategy, and marketing, just to be sure that once the intake starts in September, everybody has the same knowledge of the program. And the French classes, this is going to be a starter pack. It's not going to be enough to achieve like a good French level to eventually work in France, but I will come back to this later on. But still, it's 2 weeks offered by the school. In this case, these 2 weeks will be since the end of August, and will be face-to-face in our campus in Lyon. Keep in mind that this program is delivered only in face-to-face and is delivered only in our campus in Écuyer, Lyon. It's a general management MBA, which means that in September, we start with the core courses, and it's going to be a 360-degree views about how a company work. Our participants are going to study marketing, human resources, supply chain, finance, accounting, communication, leadership, etc. And for the majority of the core courses, they're going to develop real projects. They're going to work on 3 days, 4 days projects submitted by company partners, working all the time with different participants of their MBA cohort. This will allow them to use the skills that they are learning in classes, directly applying on real projects. So they will have classes with PhD professor, they will have essays to do, of course, they will have projects to develop. During the first semester, which runs from September until end of February, they will also have a one-day learning trip. This learning trip normally used to be in Geneva, Switzerland, where our participants used to visit and have presentation from international organizations such United Nations, World Forum Economics, etc. At the end of February, beginning of March, there is a one-week learning trip, which every year take place in another European city. Last 2 years, the learning trip was in Berlin, in Germany. Next year could be again Berlin, could change the city. The objective of this learning trip is going to be to visit a company partner in another European ecosystem, in another economy in Europe, to understand how business goes in this country, in this different context compared to France. Since March, our participants will start with the specialization, and they can pick one of the 9 different paths that you can read in this slide where is written elective specialization. So, for example, they can go for project management rather than for business development or consulting, etc. Here, there is just the name, but of course, if they choose consulting rather than business development, they will have 6 to 7 elective courses related to that specific specialization. Furthermore, they will also have the opportunity to pick other 2-3 elective courses from a long list, which is provided every year once they are on class. Then they can go maximum up to 10 elective courses. Now, one of the biggest difference with the other MBAs in France as in other European countries is that at the EMLYON, our participants, they can choose their specialization during the first semester. So they don't have to choose before that they come to the campus. This is because they will have the opportunity to ask to the professor what specifically they are going to study. This is also because not all the time everyone knows which kind of specialization would like to take after the first 6 months. There are also the opportunity to take elective courses to business school partner in Europe or outside from Europe. Once again, every year during the first semester, the list will be presented by our exchange department. To give you an idea, could be short exchanges in Europe, 3 days, 4 days, or could be longer exchange like 1 month, 2 months outside from Europe. Of course, it depends on the eligible criteria gave to us by our business school partner. It depends on their application, depends on the places available, and how many of them also like apply for this specialization. In parallel with the specialization, our participants, as you can see in this brochure, they will do the entrepreneurial consultancy project or new venture project. What that means? It means that for 6 months, if they go for the entrepreneurial consultancy project, they will work as external consultant on a project of one of our company partners. Because in November, we have company partners which will come to the campus and will present to our participants a real problem that they are figuring. Our participants will apply at up to 3 of these different projects, and then it's up to the company partner to choose which participants are going to work on their team. So they will create groups of 3 up to 5 participants, which during the second semester are going to work as external consultant directly from the campus with the support of EMLYON material, with the support from our professor working on this project. Now, this project will be presented at the end of the MBA, so in July, directly in front of the company partner, first of all, and second, it will be our participants will also present a report at our jury, because this is going to be evaluated for the final step to complete the MBA. Because in this MBA, our participants, they don't have to write a master thesis, but they will write this report on their consultancy project. However, according to the fact that EMLYON Business School, it was funded by entrepreneurs, that we have the first incubator in France, our school gives also the opportunity to work on a new venture project, which means if someone has a project and wants to develop that project, wants to work on that, rather than to go for the 6 months consultancy project, can work those 6 months from our incubator developing his own idea. Then in mid-July, end of July, the mandatory 11 months finish. For those that want to extend, as you can see, they have like language consolidation, which is optional, and we will put in contact with a French school here in Lyon, and they can get a special price for their French classes. Otherwise, they can go for an international exchange longer, which means up to 5 months. In this case, this international exchange of 5 months will be outside from Europe. Otherwise, they can do like additional certification, like specific certification in project management, for example, but also this will have like another cost. For all the year, our MBA's participants will have a dedicated career service track. Now, since September, they will start to have a mentoring session, coaching session, working in group, also working in one-to-one with our career coach 3 to 4 times, working, for example, on whatever they will need to help them to find a job faster, working on their CV, working on their pitch, working on their presentation, salary negotiation skills, etc. The career department staff will be there also organizing the career forum. The most of the time, these forums are looking for participants younger than MBAs. However, our MBAs will have the opportunity sometimes to find a few opportunities related to their studies and work experience. Otherwise, most of the time, this will be the opportunity to start to create the network. Now, since March, our career department staff will create a CV book of our participants and will send the CV book to all our company partners. On the other way, if they found the opportunities related to our company partners, they will forward this to the MBA cohort. What I always say, of course, and this needs to be clear, is that our career department staff is not an outplacement consultancy firm. So at the end of the day, since January, February, of course, it's up to the participants to send their CV to do the interviews. It's not going to be someone else doing sending the CVs or doing the interviews for them. This needs to be clear. What needs to be clear also is that, of course, our MBA participants, they go to work in English, they go to work for big multinational company, could be in France, could be in other European countries or abroad, it depends on which is their career project. However, if they are looking to work in France, they need to have between B1 or B2 level in French, because also if they are going to work in English, the companies in French, they want to test their French to be sure that if in a meeting they are going to speak 100% in French, they are going to understand. Also, if of course they are going to answer then in English. Now, let's go to the admission requirements, because to be eligible, our participants needs to have 4 years of studies and minimum of 3 years of work experience in a full-time job. Internship are not taken in consideration. Then they will need an English proficiency test and a management test, GMAT or GRE. Exemption for GMAT or GRE could be give, be careful on this, only to those with an engineering background or finance background, no economics, just finance. So engineering and finance. So 4 years of studies and minimum 3 years of work experience. This means that the minimum age to get in our full-time MBA is 26 years old. Otherwise, for those that have like 3 years of studies, and I know that in India is the case for a lot of people, for all those that actually didn't study engineering, they have like a bachelor of 3 years. In this case, they must have 7 years of work experience in a full-time job. Once again, internship are not taken in consideration for this program. In this case, however, they will have a specific form from the school to fill in, and they need to write a specific motivation letter in which they explain why the jury should take in consideration their application, also if they have just 3 years of studies rather than 4. Once again, English test and GMAT or GRE test. And in this case, will be like the bachelor of 3 years, they need to provide us the management test in any case. They can also apply without the GMAT and English test. This is always the recommendation. If you have candidates, just tell them to send their candidature also without the test. They can provide us the test later on. So the application process. There is an online application. They will have to fill in within few documents online and answer to a few questions. Application fees are mandatory. 120 euros to apply. Then there is an interview with Zoom with the recruitment manager. If the recruitment manager validates the interview, then the candidates move to the online digital test, which is very similar to the other online test that my colleagues have presented to you. So it will be an hour online test, and the recruitment manager will coach our participants on this. We will give to them all the information on this. Then every recruitment manager collect all the information, and we present once per month all the candidates in front of the jury, and the jury give us the final decision, and we go back to the candidates with the final decision, which could be positive, negative, or sometimes the jury asks for one more interview, one-to-one, with the director of the MBA or within another professor. So let's move on who does our full-time MBA. This is to give you an idea about our cohort this year. We have 40 participants this year, and next year is going to be again between 40 to 50 participants. The average of female and male, 38%, 62% this year. Next year, for the moment, we are around 40% of women, 60% of men enrolled. This year, we had 18 nationalities, so it's all the time a very diverse cohort. This is the most international program that we have at the EMLYON Business School. The average age is 33. Why? Because we have participants from 26 up to 40, 41 maximum. And if it's someone of 39, 40, it needs to explain to us really which are his motivation, why at 39, 40 wants to do a full-time MBA. Because as you can see, the average is 32, 33 years old. So we have participants with minimum 3 years of full-time job experience, which goes up to 15 plus, but the average is 7 to 8 years of work experience. The sectors from which our participants came from, it's very diverse, as you can see in this slide, and also the functions that they used to have before or that they will have after the MBA. So here, this is like the most important for you guys to have in mind. Between 26 to 39, 40 years old, minimum 3 years of full-time job up to 15. I remember you once again, minimum of 4 years of studies. Otherwise, 3 years of studies, but in that case, it's 7 years of full-time job. And we have participants from all around the world. 4 kinds of participants: those that want to have an international mobility, those that want to get a more senior position, those that want to switch the career path, and those that wants to become entrepreneur. How to finance the MBA? So the total tuition fee for the MBA is 39,800 euro. Living cost, this is an average, an estimation that we try to give to our students. It's 1,200 euro per month. This is an average. Could be less, could be more. It depends on their lifestyle. They could eventually apply for government help to help them to pay the rent of the apartment. However, they will discover this just once they will be in France, because they will open this account here in France with the government. and they will discover if they are eligible or not. How to finance the MBA? There are different scholarships which are given for the year. We have a scholarship committee which has a budget to allocate. So more we go for the year, less budget our scholarship committee will have, less opportunity of scholarship they will have. Early bird scholarship, for example, it's something that is given by September to January the 15th of every year, and gives to them 20% of scholarship. Otherwise, the other kind of scholarship could be from 0 up to 20%. It depends on integrity, diversity, responsibility, solidarity, etc. And they will have a form to fill in online. And then the scholarship committee will take the decision if they are eligible or not for a scholarship. Then we have the excellent scholarship, which is given to those which has 30% of GMAT score. 30% for those which has GMAT score of 650 or above. Otherwise, I always say that sometimes someone can have, like, for example, employer sponsorship, to research for local scholarship. So in this case, in India. Otherwise, to ask for a loan if they have if they know someone which could be a guarantor for them in France. We can put them in contact with 2 partners bank in France. Otherwise, there is Prodigy Finance, which is an organization which gives loans for all those that want to go to study postgraduate students which wants to go to study abroad in top business school. On my side, everything it's good. I can of course share my PowerPoint, maybe with Himali, so she will like eventually share with her team.
Sure, Matthew. And thank you so much for this wonderful presentation and all the information.
I will put also my contact details. So for any other question, I will be more than happy to help you guys.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matteo. Do you have any questions on this international MBA or?
Yes.
Is there any question? No?
No, I think we can proceed further.
This means that it was a great presentation, Matteo. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
We are just running, a little bit of time. So maybe we can, wind up in next 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So Elise, if you can go ahead.
Sure.
Maybe
Thank you.
Hello, nice to meet you. So I am Elise Bardet and I am a program advisor for the Master in Management Grande École. So I'm going to present you the program. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, that's okay. Well, not yet, no?
No?
It's super size.
Can you see it now? Is it okay?
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. Thank you.
Perfect. So as Julien said before, sorry?
Tu as partagé la mode de présentation, là, on voit aussi.
Okay.
Tu es en mode présentation, donc on voit les notes, les...
Est-ce qu'on voit mieux là? Est-ce que ça va?
Bah, là, on voit juste le... Enfin, t'es pas en full mode, mais...
Là, c'est bon.
En fait, si tu vas sur paramètres d'affichage,
Oui.
à côté.
Ah oui.
Et là, tu peux enlever.
Oui.
Voilà, c'est bon, parfait.
Bon, sorry about that. So yes, I'm going to present you the program. So just a key points before starting. In order to be eligible, the candidate has to have a minimum of a 3-year bachelor's degree, a 4-year bachelor's degree, or even a master's degree. But the candidate needs to have a diploma in order to apply to the program. So this is a 2 to 3 year program. It is recognized by the states, and the language of instruction is English for all international students. all the candidates will have to do a 6 months of professional experience during the program. So this is the structure of the program, so Master 1 and Master 2. So as you can see during Master 1, so the candidate will follow some core management courses like finance, marketing, negotiation and sales, microeconomy, for example, and the candidate will also have some group projects to do, which are called the DNA courses, but I will come back to that in a few minutes. From May to June, the student has 2 options. You can choose 2 elective courses. It can be cultural management, finance, accounting, even sports management. Or the candidate can choose a specialization in entrepreneurship, in marketing, in financial markets, financial and accounting management, or in supply chain. So that's the first year. So during the first year of the program, the candidate can get some advice from the career center. So for example, if he wants to find an internship or even an apprenticeship, we will come back to it in a few minutes. The student can go to this service. Of course, this is a free service. The student will also have to do responsible engagement. So it means that you will have to be in a student union or in any kind of association during the year. You will have to do 50 hours within this association. And the student will have to do a maker's project, which is the equivalent of a master thesis. So the student can go to the career center all year long and can do the responsible engagement all year long also. Then there is the optional gap here, but I will come back to it in a few minutes. And so during Master 2, the student will have 4 options to choose from and will be able to do either internship from March till August. So this is the overall program. So now I'm going to present the DNA courses. So there are 4 DNA courses in total, which start in September of the first year and will end in March. So there is Sustainable Futures. So the candidate will, the students will work with companies, real companies, usually French companies, and the companies will expose their issue, for example, their environmental issues, and within a group of 4 to 6 students, so the students will have to find a solution as a consultant will do in real life. So they are real projects actually, so that's why they are very stimulating for students. Then there is the business creation project. So within a group of 4 to 6 students, so students will have to choose a business creation project, whatever they want. Then they will have to create the business plan and they will have to present the projects in front of a jury, and the best projects will be incubated. Then there is recaps. So the students, again, within a group of 4 to 6 students, will have to conduct a sociological research. For example, this year, one of the themes is My Boss is a Robot. So they will have to work on that. They will have to understand what this means. Yes. So then there is prototype. So the students will learn how to code, for example, to create a web page, to create also a website or even an app. So these 4 projects are mandatory. So again, from September till March of the first year. So I just want you to see how the first year is structured, and especially the courses. So as you can see, so from September till December of the first year, so students will have to follow a lot of different courses. So of course the DNA courses, and also, for example, micro economics, act for the climate, also dive into cultures, and they can also learn a second language if they want to. So they will have to do this also during the first year of the master's degree. So that's all the courses that they will have to follow. So all these courses are mandatory. So this is now the second year of the program. So as you can see, there are a lot of different options because this program is very flexible. So the three options are academic options. So the student, so for option 1, the student can choose an advanced track, for example, in corporate finance, financial markets, strategic practice, entrepreneurship, data analyst, marketing and business markets. Then a professional track in investment banking or quantitative strategy, and 4 elective courses. So there are a lot of elective courses in cultural management, in leadership, in humanities and social sciences, in audit and management control, or in corporate finance. So there are lots of options to choose from. So that's the first option. On the second option, so they can choose one advanced track. So again, corporate finance, strategic practice, data analyst, marketing and business markets, and they can choose 8 elective courses. So this option actually can be great for students who don't know what they want to specialize in yet. So that can be a good option for them. Then option 3, so the student can choose 2 elective courses. So it means that the student still wants to explore each options within the program. So that were the 3 academic options. Then there is the apprenticeship. So the student can do an apprenticeship of 1 year from September on. So a very important fact, the student has to speak French. French is compulsory, and he has to have a very good level of French, so at least C1 in order to do the apprenticeship. So there is one very important criteria. If students want to do the apprenticeship, they have to validate their first year of study. They have to validate all the courses, and they have to do their makers project before entering the apprenticeship. So they have to find a company, but the school, of course, help them to find a company. So that's a very interesting option, especially regarding the financing of the program, because the employer pays the program entirely for this year. So then there are 3 other options, which are called the international options. So for option 5, so during the first semester, the student can go abroad. We have about 193 academic partners around the world in every continent. So the student will have to pay our tuition fees, not the tuition fees from the academic partners. So that's also very interesting financially. And during the second semester, the student can choose 4 elective courses. So the option 6 is the other way around. So the student will have to choose 4 elective courses during the first semester and will have to go abroad during the second semester. Then there is option 7. So the student can do an international double degree. So I will come back to it a bit later on. And again, so the student will not have to pay their tuition fees from their partner school, but from our school. And then option 8, so the student can do a double degree in France, but again, French speaking is compulsory because the student has to understand the courses in French fully. So now I'm going to talk about the admission requirements for this program. So there are two admission processes for this program. So there is the direct international admission. So the candidate will apply through our website. Will have to do everything digitally. So the candidate will have to provide a management test like the GMAT, the TAJMAT, the GRE or CAT. I know that CAT is very well known in India. So there is no minimum score required, but this is a competition. So of course, the higher score, the better. Then the student will have to provide an English test if the degree was not entirely taught in English, or if it's not a native speaker. So the English test can be say the TOEIC listening and reading, or TOEFL IBT, or IELTS. Again, there is no minimum score required, but the higher, the better. So after completing, after submitting his application, the candidate will have to take some digital tests, so to assess his motivation. So the digital test can last for 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, and they are entirely in English. So for this admission process, there are 5 to 6 sessions per year from October till August, and currently this is the 5th session, which closes on June the 12th. So then there is another way of applying to our program, which is called Join a School in France. So this is a consortium of 5 French business schools, HEC, ESCP, Audencia, Schema, and of course EMLYON. So the candidate will have to create 1 application for at least 2 schools of the consortium. So the candidate can apply from 2 to 5 schools. He will have to provide the same tests, so a management test and an English test. So they're also mandatory for this admission process. And it will have to also to provide 2 letters of recommendation. So 1 academic letter and 1 professional letter, or 2 academic letters or 2 professional letters, but letters of recommendation are mandatory through this admission process. And then the candidate will have a phase. So when the candidate will apply to the program after submitting his application, if he is eligible, he will have a face-to-face interview with some people from Join a School in France, from the staff, or even some alumni. So the interviews can also be held by alumni. So the face-to-face interview will last for about half an hour and will be held in English. So we want to know if the candidate why the candidate has chosen our school, so his motivation, and also we want to assess his or her level of English. And after this interview, the candidate will be admitted or non-admitted to the program. So for Join a School in France, there are about 4 to 5 sessions per year from October till August. And there is no session at the moment. There might be another one, but we are not sure about that yet. So as I was telling you before about the international possibilities, so the student can either do an exchange for 1 semester or a double degree for 1 year. So we have 12 double degrees with very well-known international schools like HEC Montreal in Canada, Aston Business School in the UK. We also have some double degrees with EBS in EBS Business School in Germany, or WHU in Germany, and we have some other partnership, for example, in Taiwan with the National Chenghe University, and in Thailand with the Asian Institute of Technology. So as I was telling you before, we have 193 academic partners around the world. We have a lot of academic partners in Europe, actually. We have about 81 partners, 25 in North America, 19 in Latin America, 5 in Africa, and 61 in Asia. So that's the different international possibilities. So as Matteo was telling you before, we also grant some scholarships for our students. So we grant, so several scholarships can be granted. So we have an academic excellence scholarship. So the admission office grants this type of scholarship. For example, if the candidate has over 700 for his GMAT score, he can be granted a 10% scholarship. A 10% scholarship also if he has over 400 on his TAJMA score. He can also be granted a 5% scholarship if he has over 650 for his GMAT score, and over 360 for his TAJMA score. So this scholarship, so the Academic Excellence Scholarship, can be accumulated with the Early Bird Scholarship. So the Early Bird Scholarship is available only for the first and second session. So for the first session in October and the second session, which ends in usually December or January. So the candidate can be granted a 5 to 10% scholarship. And the candidate can also have another scholarship, which is called the admission scholarship, because the admission service grants this scholarship. So the admission service will have a look at the grades of the student, the professional experience, even if professional experiences are not mandatory for this program. And the admission service will also have a look at their management and English score. And so they can grant a 5 to 60% scholarship. So that's a very, very high scholarship. And again, all these scholarships, so all these 3 scholarships can be accumulated. And they can only be granted on the first academic year, so not on the second. So finally, I just wanted to show you some figures about employability. So as you can see, a lot of our students, a lot of our graduates actually work in Europe. Some of them, especially international students, can go back to their home country. Usually they work in big companies, so 38% of them work in companies which have more than 5,000 employees. So a lot of them work in the consulting industry, also in the finance industry. Yes. So as you can see, so 69% of our students find a job before graduation, and 100% of our students, so all of our students, find a job within 6 months after graduation. So that's some great figures. And we are also the second best French business school in terms of employability. So that's all for me.
Thank you, Elise.
So that's our contact. So you can contact me if you have some questions, or Marianne Larquier, my colleague.
Okay, thank you very much, Elise. I see that we run out of time. Maybe Charlotte, do you have any questions regarding the master in management? Maybe the best will be to send me your question after if you want to. Imadi? Okay, Imadi is maybe not there, so maybe Charlotte, you can go ahead with the Master of Science and Master of Science, I think.
Sure, perfect. Thank you very much. Elise, can you stop your... Perfect. You read my mind. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. And I think it's live. So, first of all, thank you very much to you all for taking the time today to be with us to hear about our presentations. I'm sure it is quite a lot of information all in one go, but this presentation is recorded. I'm sure you'll be able to go back to it at a later date. And obviously, as all of my colleagues have said numerous times, we will all be available if you have any questions through Julien during the next few weeks, months, etc. So I'm just going to be as brief as I can regarding the Masters of Science that we have at EMLYON Business School. So the first thing you need to remember is that at EMLYON, as you've seen so far with all the different programs that we've presented, we have a whole array of different programs depending on the academic background of the students that you will be guiding to higher education, whether they are interested just after high school or after already having done a bachelor's degree or after already having done a master's degree for an MBA, for example. When it becomes a little bit more tricky is for students who already have done a 3 or 4 years bachelor's degree and they want to enter into business school in France. At EMLYON specifically, they would be eligible for the Master in Management, also called in French Programme Grande École. So through my presentation, you will see referred to it either as the PGE or the Master in Management MIM. This is exactly the same program. So those bachelor students from India will be eligible for this program, which is, as you've heard from the presentation from Elise, a bit more wide and general program where they're able to specialize as they go. They will also be eligible for Masters of Science. A Master of Science is a more precise type of program. It's shorter, but it is for students who already have a maturity to already know what they want to do. However, they will be eligible for both programs, so sometimes you will have to guide through to guide those students through to the specific programs they may be interested in. So let's talk a little bit more about those differences in between those types of programs. On the screen to the right, you can also see information about Master Spécialisé programs. I'm not going to go into too much detail about these types of programs today, because in order to be eligible for these programs, students need to be fluent in French. Some of the classes will be in English as well, but at least 80% to 85% of the classes will be in French. So unless you have a very particular type of candidate who is already fluent in French, interested in studying a Master Spécialisé, I don't think this is exactly the type of programs that you will be guiding your students through to. So in terms of Master in Management and Masters of Science, as I said just a few minutes ago, a Master of Science is for students who already have this maturity. Through their bachelor's degrees, they've already studied some things. They know exactly what they want to do. They're very passionate about something, whether it be a type of positions, for example, like working in finance, or whether it be working in a specific field, like, for example, the sports industry, the luxury world, etc. So they already have this maturity regarding their professional path. How would they be eligible for it? First of all, they need to have done at least a 3-year bachelor's minimum, more preferably a 4-year bachelor's degree. So obviously all students who come out with a bachelor's from an Indian university or a business institution, whether are eligible for a Master of Science. They will get 120 ECTS credits for their Masters of Science with us. And the length of the program is a bit unusual. It will be 16 months. More specifically, it's 10 months of classes, followed by 6 months of a professional mission. It can be an internship, most often is an internship. It can be a short-term contract. It can be a long-term contract. It could also be international volunteering in French companies abroad. So there are many different things we could do, but it has to be at least 4 to 6 months. Usually it is a 6-month-long internship. Masters of Science are taught entirely in English. So we actually have 12 different Masters of Science programs, and we have Indian students in all of them. So these are students that our program directors very much like. They very much appreciate the very technical knowledge that they have for the more technically oriented programs, or the very interesting intercultural knowledge that they bring to a French institution. So they are highly regarded candidates. For Masters of Science, there will always be an international period and or an international seminar, meaning that there is an international element to the program. The international seminar is a 1-week long trip to a city that is relevant for the program, where the students will be able to go and meet with companies and with people who are currently having an impact in the specific field that the students want to get into. They will also have the opportunity to go and do an international period, usually 6 to 10 weeks, and study in a partnered university from EMLYON Business School and continuing their specialization in this university. This special arrangement for an international period in a partnered university is true for all the students, most of the students who will join us in September 2023. However, for the students who will join us from September 2024 forward, EMLYON Business School has a campus in Shanghai, as Julien presented you during his presentation earlier. And we plan on bringing all our Master of Science students back to Shanghai for their international period. It used to be in Shanghai. Due to the COVID situation in China, we have had to find alternative solutions. China is reopening. We have a great campus with great professors who are very much aware of exactly what the Masters of Science students need and what they types of skills they will need during those periods. And so we very much welcome the opportunity from 2024 onwards to bringing back our students to Shanghai to give them the academically excellent education they deserve. A Master of Science is a label recognized by the Conférence des Grandes Écoles in France. That means that this is a program that is very much focusing on giving the students exactly what they need to maximize their employability and bringing them to the best of their ability in terms of the types of positions that they will get. The role of the Master of Science is not for the students to go and do research or a PhD afterwards. It's for them really to go into the workforce straight after the Master of Science. Compared to a Master in Management, where obviously after that they would have, and more of them actually decide to go and do a PhD after their Master in Management. So let's talk a little bit more about the programs. We have 12 Masters of Science programs overall. They are all kind of in the same vein. So you have 10 months of classes, which are divided in 3 academic trimesters, from September to December, December to March, March to end of June. During those 3 trimesters, most of the programs will have fundamental courses during the first trimester, because all the programs accept all types of students, meaning that you could be applying for a Master of Science in Finance, even if you have a business background or a law background, even if you do not have a finance background specifically. Same for sports industry management. If you've already done studies in finance, in engineering, in pharmaceutical studies, but you have a change of heart in your career, those students will be eligible for those types of programs. So the only requirement we ask is that they have at least a 3-year bachelor's degree and that they have a career plan that makes sense for this program. They do not have any other types of requirements in terms of the types of studies they've done for their bachelor's degree. So the first trimester is really for them to get up to speed with everything that they will need to learn in order to go to the next level during the second semester, where this is where things will really start to kick in, and all of the specializations and all the very specific courses that they will have will really start from December onwards. March to end of June, this is when most of the programs will send their students abroad. From 2023, for 2023, they will go to a partnered institution, a different one for each program. 2024 onwards, it will be Shanghai. And it will be an EMLYON institution campus and not a partner institution. After July onwards, students will have to do their internship. It can be anywhere in France or abroad. And because this is a Master of Science, they will also have to write their dissertation. After that, they'll be graduated. So that is overall 16 months. So it goes quite fast. 720 teaching hours during the 10 months of classes, plus a 6-month internship. The students will not have the time to get bored. So I am not going to go into too many details regarding those programs, specifically because we have prepared videos, about 8 minutes videos for each of those programs with detailed explanations about what is going to happen during the programs, what are the specializations, what are the components of the classes. I think that, Himali, you have those videos. So I don't know if you've already sent them to everybody. If not, you don't hesitate to get in touch with Julien or with Emily, and we'll be able to send them to you. But I'm sure you already have everything you need in hand. Regarding all of those programs, what you need to know is that we have a wide array of different types of programs. As you can see, supply chain and purchasing, finance, strategy and consulting, international marketing, business development, international hospitality management, sports industry management, luxury management and marketing, data science and artificial intelligence strategy, cybersecurity and defense management, digital marketing and data science, health management and data intelligence, and global innovation and entrepreneurship. As you can see, some of those programs are really very different from others, and there is not much competition. For example, supply chain and purchasing is really in its own field. However, some programs have some overlapping interests. For example, data science and artificial intelligence strategy has some overlapping interest with digital marketing and data science. It will also be up to you to guide your students to the most exact programs that the students are really looking to, because sometimes there will be some overlapping, but not exactly. So they will not get them to the exact types of same positions. So I'm not going to go into too many details about the Master Spécialisé because I see that we have about 4 minutes left. So I just really wanted to talk about two main things regarding the Masters of Science, on top of what I've just said regarding the different specializations. It is that, however, in order to apply for Masters of Science programs, even if they apply to different programs, for example, one Master of Science in Strategy and Consulting and one in Finance, they will have to do 2 applications, but they will have to go through the same process. So I know that you've already had a presentation about the application process for the Masters of Science programs from my colleague, Mrs. Sauvan-Main. However, I just wanted you to remember those 3 key steps, in that applications for the MSc programs are quite different from the other programs that were presented to you. They are done entirely online, with an online application that is done on our own website. So they will not need to apply via the Campus France website, only through the EMLYON website. They will then do the EMLYON digital tests that my colleague Sauvan presented to you. And only after they've done those 2 steps will they have the jury looking at their application and deciding whether they are admitted or not. You have specific dates for applications for students who come from agents such as you. And so there will be obviously great details being looked at for all of those applications that you will be bringing to us. But they will need to have done the online application and the digital test in order to be able to go to the jury part. In terms of financial aid, I also wanted to stress out that for the Masters of Science, there is financial aid that is available. However, all the scholarships that I'm going to quickly present below are only cumulative for up to 30% of the total tuition fees amount. For a Master of Science, most tuition fees will be set at 24,900 euros for the full 16 months of the Master of Science. For some of them, it will be 27,000 euros. And for the MSc in Luxury Management and Marketing, it will be 34,000 euros for the full 16 months. It is obviously an investment that sometimes can be a burden on a family, which is why we have those financial aids available. However, when we look at the employability statistics of our students, we know that while it is an investment that they have to make, this is an investment that always pays off. They are able to find employment quickly, and great employment at that in the industry that they wanted to get in, and in the types of positions, most often managerial, even for their first position, that they wanted. So an investment, but a great one. When it comes to scholarships, there are 3 types of scholarships. Obviously, as you can see, the Early Bird Scholarship for September 2023 is already gone. Students need to apply earlier in the year. So think of those future students of yours for September 2024. The first round of Early Bird Scholarships will be available for students who apply during the month of October, and the second round of Early Bird Scholarship for students who apply during the month of November up until early December. Those exact dates change every year. We will provide you every year with the exact application dates so that you can have everything in hand, but this Early Bird Scholarship is usually available for students who apply during the first and second round. It is cumulative with the individual scholarship, which is the type of scholarship that is available for all students, and they have to apply it by submitting the document with their application. So if your students come to you with the need of a scholarship, please tell them that it exists. It is a document that they can download either on our website or on the application website as well. And they will need to fill it in and send it with the application. We will not be looking at individual scholarship demands if they have not filled in the document and sent it with their application. This individual scholarship by itself can go up to 30%. However, cumulatively, it cannot go to more than 30%. So if they already have one of the other two, they will not be able to get the full 30% amount. It usually ranges anywhere from 5 to 30%, the individual scholarship. On top of that, there is also the Excellence Scholarship. As my colleague Sovan told you, for the application, a GMAT score or an English language test score is not mandatory to apply to a Master of Science at EMLYON. However, we recognize that students who apply to our school also apply to institutions where it is mandatory to take this test. So we know that they have taken the time to study and to do great on this test. So we want to reward outstanding applicants with this specific scholarship. If they get a score of over 650, they will get a 5% scholarship. And if they get over 700, they will get a 10% scholarship. So we have some scholarships available. All of those information are available in your agents package, but please do not hesitate. If you have any further questions, go and bug Julien. He will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have, and he will get it to us, and we'll be able to answer as quickly as we can. So thank you very much. I tried to be as brief as I could.
Thanks a lot, Charlotte. Thank you very much. It was maybe longer than expected. Himadi, I don't know if you're there. Himadi? Okay, Himadi is not there. So maybe the best thing would be to send all your questions to myself or maybe to Himadi directly. We'll be very happy to answer all of your questions. Thanks a lot for being there today with us. I don't know why Himadi is not here, but Himadi, one last call. I'm so sorry because we have to go. I have to go on my side because I have another meeting. I'm already late. But once again, if you have any question, please kindly send them to myself or to Himadi, and we'll be happy to answer all of your questions and give you more information on the different programs. Thanks again, and hope to see you later and to all of your best candidates. Thank you very much. Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you to all of you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Attends, un tout petit peu voir si Himadi se reconnecte, mais... Tu peux y aller, Charlotte, hein, si tu veux, t'inquiète.
Ouais, je pense que tu peux fermer la réunion.
Ouais.
Good day to you all.
Thank you, bye-bye. Merci beaucoup, Charlotte.